Hey guys, it's your girl Liana. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Liana. I post new videos every single week. Go watch some older videos so we can get a little bit more familiar with each other and get better well acquainted. You're gonna end up loving it here, so smash that subscribe button. And if you are one of my returning subscribers, welcome back. So today's video is actually going to be my everyday makeup routine, because I feel like in today's age we need to learn how to do makeup by ourselves, because the makeup artists are charging $200 a face. And unless you are going to an event, a wedding, your baby shower, something, you need to learn how to do your makeup yourself. Like $200 each occasion, just go on a date night with your man, that's too much, okay? So we need to learn how to do our makeup in 2025. And this is just a super easy everyday makeup that this is my go-to makeup. If I'm going on a date night or if I'm going out with my friends, this is my go-to makeup right here. And it was really, really easy to follow, I think. But so if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, keep watching. Can we have a little commotion for the bare skin? I am falling in love with how I look naturally, and I love that for me. I think that everyone says with age comes more confidence, and I strongly believe that is true, because I've never felt more love for myself than now. My self-esteem has never been this high. Like, I love that for me. Okay, so today's video is going to be my everyday makeup routine. I already did my skincare routine, but I do want to highlight two things that I love the most. First thing being this Tula day and night cream. This makes your skin so hydrated, and also like kind of gives a plumpness to your face. And then you cannot leave the house without SPF. They also have the matching SPF, and this is SPF what? SPF 30, and it's Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen, and it kind of has like a jelly texture that I really, really like, and also gives a nice glow to your skin. So I think the key to getting your makeup to look really, really good is skin prep. So those are my favorite things to start with. But you know what, let me draw you guys in so we can really get started. This is better. We are very, very close right now. Another face base thing I like to use is this Bobbi Brown Enriched Face Base. It kind of is like a putty material. I don't know if you guys remember like the e.l.f. putty primer. It kind of feels like that, but this one is Bobbi Brown, and I really like the base that it gives my skin. It's saying pores no more, okay? So I'm putting that all over my face. If you see me looking down, sorry, because my mirror is actually right here. Oldie but goodie, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I used to use the brow definer back in the day, but I have switched to the skinnier one, and this is the Brow Wiz. I do not know how to do my eyebrows on camera, so let's see how this goes. Let's not embarrass myself. I'm gonna be right back, and I'm gonna have my eyebrows done. Brows are on, and I just used my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toffee, and that is what I use to kind of carve out my brows. And then now we're gonna go in with primer. Right now, for like spring, summer weather, I really like this Milk Hydro Grip Primer, but in the glowy one. I have the regular one here. This is just like a really, really thick, grippy kind of primer. But for this season, I like this glowy one. Anything that's gonna add more glow back to my skin, I really like. Like, it literally looks like a gold metallic shimmer, and I really like that. You ever see like the metallic people walking around New York? Like, I usually think they're usually painted in silver or gold. Every time I put this on, that's how I feel. I feel like that. I look like them. But okay. As you can see, my face is sticky. And that's how you know the makeup is going to last. Because one thing about it also, for this makeup routine, it's going to last. It's going to last. Because usually when I do go out with my friends, we'll start from the day and end up into the night, okay? So this makeup is going to last. Now that the skin is prepped and primed and ready for my face base, I usually always go in between my MAC Studio Fix Concealer or my Fenty Skin Tint. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna go in with the MAC foundation because it is more of like a full coverage look, and I want to show you guys what I actually do on an everyday basis, not necessarily just my easy makeup routine. I want to show you guys my actually thorough one that I do on a normal basis. Probably not the most sanitary way to do it, but I do just pump it onto my skin. I do. I have my brushes right in front of me here. I'm going to use my e.l.f. buffing foundation brush, and I kind of just press it out on my face first. Girls, reverse back. This is the problem with filming. Sometimes you skip a step because we did not color correct. Reverse. Let's do this. I'll come right back. So I'm gonna actually just leave the foundation on, and I just went ahead and color corrected. I used the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Corrector, and I used it in the shade Mango. I really like this. They also have a shade Papaya, which I think I could have went for as well, but that was like so much more orange, and I feel like this one is more like peachy toned, corally. I could have definitely went with Papaya, but I do have the Mango one. I'm gonna let it dry down around the eyes a little bit, but I will blend out around my mouth. That is usually where I put my color correcting concealer. I usually do under the eyes because my eyes are a little dark, a little bit dark sometimes, and then around my mouth, because I think everyone with pigment in their skin around their mouth is always a little bit darker than the rest of their face. And again, I'm using this e.l.f. brush. This is the Flawless Concealer brush. These brushes are so old that the writing is barely there, but I can kind of still see what this one says. Makeup brushes are so damn expensive, and I do want to invest in better quality ones, but girl, I was looking at this, I think it was a Sephora collection foundation brush, and the brush was like almost $100. $100 on a brush? Ooh, no ma'am, no ham, no Sally, no none of that. When I get like kind of more into my makeup, I actually have a funny story to share with you guys. Also, sorry, how is everyone's day, week going? Today is Thursday when I'm filming this, May 29th. I am off work on Thursday, so that is usually the day that I use to film. And I was also off on Monday because Memorial Day. Hello, thank God. Okay, now I'm gonna go underneath the eyes and just pat it out. I know that some people probably do this way more neater than I do, but again, this is like, I'm so used to doing my makeup that I kind of just like flow through it. I'm not a makeup artist, but I am a girl who likes to look good when she does do her makeup. So these are just the steps that work for me. And I feel like they're easy enough that this will probably work for anyone else. So that's why I'm kind of filming this video as well. I just got some of the foundation on this brush, but I just put it back on my face. I also know some girls too, when they're doing the color correcting concealer, they go back over the color correcting with like another concealer that is closer to them in their shade. I don't feel the need to do that. I kind of try to do the least amount of makeup underneath my eyes for the simple fact that it doesn't matter what products that you're using, it'll eventually start to look really, really, not necessarily cakey under the eyes, but it starts to spread apart after so much product that you're putting on top, especially then when you're setting with powder. Over time it creases, and I found that the less product you put under your eyes, the better it will look over time. So now I'm going in with the e.l.f. foundation buffing brush, and then I'm gonna go over my foundation. I think this foundation is a really good match for me. What shade is this? If you are my skin tone twin, I use this shade NC46. I remember growing up, I used to use NC45, and I always would be like, it doesn't match me all the way. So I'm happy that they introduced more shades to the range, so this one matches me perfectly. I feel like it matches me perfectly. If you agree, leave a heart. Always remember to blend down to your neck, because you don't want your neck a different shade than your face. Over my eyelids as well with my foundation, it kind of works as like my primer for my eyelids, but I also just like my face to be one tone when I'm doing this. I look bald right now. Would I kill it as a bald girl though? Okay, so now foundation on. Again, I teeter-totter between two different concealers, the Tarte Shape Tape, which all of a sudden you can only find this at Ulta and I believe the actual Tarte website, which is crazy because I think I got this one at Sephora at one point. When did they not? I think this may actually be a discontinued concealer. I don't even know anymore. But this is the Double Duty Beauty Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I have it in the color Tan Sand. And I also have the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Biscuit. I love this concealer when I'm going for more of an everyday look, and I like my Tarte Shape Tape for when I am trying to give glam. So I'm gonna go in with my NARS one because I'm not giving glam right now, but I am giving what I would use on an everyday basis. on an everyday basis, I would use the NARS, not the Tarte one. Only for going out, I would use the Tarte one. I hate the faces that we make when we're putting on makeup. It's just like so unattractive, but I mean, you gotta do it because it gets the job done. I am one of the girls who let the concealer sit down and really dry down before I blend it out. So while we're waiting for it to dry down, I'm using this MAC NW47 Studio Fix Soft Matte Foundation Stick. This I know is discontinued. I got this on a sale that they were having years ago, and I only have that much left. When this finishes, I'm going to be so upset about it. But for, I don't want to say I contour with this. I want to say more of as a cream bronzer, because it's more on the warm tone. It's not cool toned at all. And then I just put it in the hollows of my cheeks, forehead, nose, and you'll see. I also put it on my jawline because I do have a really round face, so it could be a good and a bad thing, because I feel like my round face makes me look youthful, but it also just, I want to give a bad bitch with a sharp chin line, and I don't have that. I'm also going to put a little bit in my eyelids. And while I am waiting for the concealer to dry, I still will go in and buff out my contour while I'm waiting for the concealer to dry. I didn't even tell you guys which brush I'm using to blend out that foundation. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It kind of has like a domed shape that I really like, so it kind of like goes into the hollows of my cheeks and everything like that very easily. So now that the face part is done, I also have another Real Techniques brush. This is the Essential Crease Brush, but I do not use it on my crease. I actually use it on my nose when I'm blending that out. I'm using another Real Techniques brush. This one is the setting brush, and this is what I use to blend out my concealer. This brush blends it out so nice. I know we used to use like beauty blenders, and I still have my beauty blender, but I switched back to brushes a while ago and I haven't gone back since. I love the way a brush blends out your makeup. It just, I think that we need to leave the beauty blender behind. Beauty blenders are cool for like every day when you're just putting on concealer and going out the door, but for a full coverage face, you need a brush, okay? A brush. Now that we're like halfway through the makeup, I do want to tell you the story now. It's very fast story. The world is so small. So there's this woman that I believe she found me on YouTube first and subscribed to me. And one thing about it, if you subscribe to me, I always like look at your page. Sometimes YouTube will notify me if I get a new subscriber, and if it does notify me, I do try my best to look at the person's page to see if they do have a YouTube channel as well, and I try to subscribe if I like your content as well. So there's this one creator, quick little shout out, her name is It's Murray's Way, and she was like, she's a mom, but she also does fashion content and vlogging, like sometimes, you know, day-to-day life, kind of like what I do here. So I do also subscribe to her. I subscribe to her, and then I was watching one of her vlogs, and she was in like very local places that I know, like Short Hills Mall and some of the places, but I don't want to give too much about it because then I guess that's too much. But other places that I basically recognized, right? And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were a fellow Jersey girl. Hello. And she's like, yeah, Jersey girl, da 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 da. And I believe that I went, and once I found out she was a Jersey girl, I went and followed her on Instagram because, I don't know, networking. That's like what I checked it up to, networking. And you know, we can girls supporting girls. So I follow her on Instagram now, and then the other day I saw that she posted a woman in her family, well no, I think one of her friends graduated. Yeah, so I saw the video of her congratulating this woman and taking all these pictures with this woman. I'm like, why does this woman look so familiar? I know this girl, like where do I know her from? So I do recognize her, and I recognize her as my brother's fiance, because they are engaged. And again, you're probably like, girl, what do you mean you think you know this woman? Like, why didn't you know for a fact? Okay, my dad has 9 kids and I am the youngest of 9. So I have siblings who are old enough to be my parents, pretty much. I have a niece, and I texted her a picture. I screenshotted and texted my niece. I'm like, isn't this your dad's fiance? AKA my brother's fiance. I'm closer with my nieces and nephew because, like I said, we're around the same age. She's like, yeah, that's her. And I'm like, okay, really small world. And then I message Murray's way. I'm like, oh, I know her. This is such a small world. That's my brother's fiance. But I think I did say my brother's girlfriend, but it is fiance. And then she was like, oh, okay, like, which girl in the video? I'm like, the one that you guys are celebrating. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. She was like, I know your brother. He's friends with one of my cousins, I believe she said. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know exactly. She said the name. I'm like, yeah, that's like his best friend. That's the godfather of my nieces and nephew. And I was just like, how don't we know each other? Like, that's so strange. And like I said, we did not know each other from a can of paint, and now it's like we're basically family. That's her best friend that she was celebrating. We're basically family at this point. And then she was like, yeah, you have another sister. Well, another sister that lives really close to me. She always has yard sales. I'm like, yeah, that's my sister, blah, blah, blah. So very small world. And whoever said the YouTube algorithm does not work, I think it does, because it brought us together and we literally live in the same vicinity of each other. So I thought that that was really, really cool. And yeah, so now it's like, you know, we gotta go get drinks or something because we're practically family. But that is what I wanted to share with you guys. It's a small world out there. I have 2 of the Patrick Ta blushes here. These are the Double Take Cream and Powder blushes. They kind of look really, really similar on camera, but they are not. They're completely different. This one is the shade She's That Girl, which is way more pinky. And then this one is She's Vibrant, which when I bought it, I thought it was going to be more on the corally side, but it is not. It's definitely just like a more strawberry pink, and I wanted a coral blush, but whatever. I'm going to keep them both. Yeah, the camera really makes them look very identical, but they're not. I'm going to go in with She's Vibrant just because it is spring. And what I like about it being a dual, this is the cream blush and this is the powder brush, it does put like a little lid over the cream. And I like that. This brush is really, really random. I do not know the name of it. It came in a set of so many different brushes. I think I bought this when I was still in high school. When I was like, I think I bought this brush set when I was still in high school off of like AliExpress. Came with like 100 brushes for probably $10. So I don't know the name of it, and I probably shouldn't even be using it on my face anymore at this point. It's so old, but I still like it. So I'm gonna use this to layer the cream first. The thing is, Patrick Ta actually said he likes to put the powder first, then the cream, but that doesn't sit right with me. I'm used to the era of, you know, doing cream first and then doing the powder on top of the cream. So I'm gonna do it that way. I'm gonna stick to it that way. I'm just layering it on the apples of my cheeks. So I put the cream down now, and now I'm gonna go in with the powder. I use the same exact brush to go back in with the powder. And I bring it up to my temples. I really like that look. I look oily right now, so it is definitely time to set. So I'm gonna set everything all at once. I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel. I got this in PR one time and I love it. I love it. I'm going to have to rebuy it myself because I love it. Even on days when I don't have on any makeup at all, I will use this just and put it down on my eyebrows because I really like the laminated look sometimes. You know what's crazy? My eyebrows, I remember growing up, and the women, or everyone for that matter, especially when I was in school, they used to be like, never do your eyebrows, you have such great eyebrows. And what do you do when you're a kid? You don't listen. And I used to have these people do my eyebrows, and I think my most recent eyebrow job, like years ago at this point, not even relatively new or recent. Years ago, I had a woman do my eyebrows and she did them so thin, and my eyebrows have basically never recovered. They look good now because obviously I filled them in, but they've never recovered. So I used to be the girl who did not need to get her eyebrows done to now I ruined my eyebrows. Another oldie but goodie, I'm gonna go with my Laura Mercier translucent powder and a powder puff. I got a set of 10 on, I think, Amazon. I'm pretty sure I got like a set of 10 on Amazon, or maybe Shein for less than a couple bucks. I'm picking up the powder on the puff and then like kind of dabbing it off on my hand just so I have an even layer when I'm applying it onto my face. And I'm just applying this to pretty much everywhere where I had the concealer, but I just push it into my skin. I don't let it sit and bake anymore. I just push it into the skin to set. I also go underneath where I cream contoured, if you want to call it that, to kind of like just sharpen out the look. And even at this point, you can see that I'm pretty much went from glazed donut to more of a matte face just by this powder. And for my bronzer, I use the Fenty Beauty Coco Naughty Sunkissed Starker bronzer. And again, this is a brush from a brush set that I got when I was a teenager, and probably should get rid of it, but I don't. I feel like, I don't even know how some people hit pan on their products. I've had this for a long time now and it just keeps on going and going and going. I don't know when I'll ever finish it. But everywhere that I use that cream foundation stick from MAC is where I will place this. Or what you can do is kind of create the number 3 with your face. So like temples, and then like I said, where I contoured, and then drag it down, and the last line of the 3 will be like under your jawline. So you can think of it that way, the number 3. So it's like zoop, zoop. From the same set that I don't know the name of, here's another one. This one is like more of an angled, denser brush, and I use this along my nose. And then this is a Real Techniques brush. This is the deluxe crease brush. I just use this. I use my same bronzer and I drag it in my eyes because, like I said before, you know, I did put the foundation on my eyes, so it does create that like creasy, like I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it's creasy because it's, you know, liquid product there. So I do use this brush with my bronzer to kind of like dry that up, and it also just creates a really nice tone on my lids to work with, kind of like a transition shade for when I do apply eyeshadow. We are looking flawless already. Now to kind of lock everything and set it in place, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. That is a mouthful to say, but I like this. But I'm going to spray this all over my face. It also has a really, really nice smell to it. So I think that that's why I don't mind spraying so much of it, because I'm, again, indeed looking very, very glowy. But once this sets into my face, I promise you I'm going to look really, really good. And it's going to almost look like my skin, but better. On most days, honestly, I would stop right here. I would put on mascara, put on a little bit of highlighter, and that'll be it. But today I am going to go with the Makeup by Mario Masters Mattes palette. And it's just all like browns and nudes. So I feel like every time I go on a trip, this is the palette that I bring, because all of the shades that I need are in this palette. And I don't do too much with eyeshadow as is, so this is just perfect for me. I barely even have any eyeshadow brushes, honestly. So what I'm gonna do is use this Real Techniques. This is a medium shadow brush. I go in with this shade right here. They do not really have names. That is called Matte 6, okay? I'm gonna put that all over my lid. Again, as like, I know I put the bronzer on, but this will really act as the base for the shades that I'm gonna use, which are not many. Just to add some depth back to my eye, I'm gonna go in with this brown shade right here called Matte 11 with this Urban Decay brush that came in like one of the Naked palettes that I had years ago. Again, I told you I don't really do eyeshadow like that much anymore. I feel like when the Naked palettes, Urban Decay was like bigger, more hyped up, I used to do eyeshadow back then, but not anymore. I'm going in with the Natasha Denona Highlighting Trio, Golden Highlighting Trio palette. It just comes with 3 really beautiful shades in there, more like a pearly one, champagne, and like a goldy bronzy one. I'm gonna use the champagne one in the middle. I know a lot of girlies do not like to highlight anymore, but I'm gonna forever die on this hill that the makeup's not complete until you highlight. Like, I feel like highlighting is even more important than blush. You can have a beautiful face makeup on without blush, but you need to highlight. Especially in the summertime, I just feel like it does something to your skin, like you look healthy. Down the bridge of my nose, just like halfway on the bridge of my nose, and then at the tip. I'm also gonna do this underneath my brow bone. I know a lot of people, again, don't really do this, but I do not follow the trends. I do what works for me and what I like my face to look like. And I was using the e.l.f. blush brush. That is what I use to highlight my face. And again, from that random toolkit of brushes that I got, a random brush. For my lashes, I got this DIY lash cluster kit from Amazon for I think $10. It's from the brand Fanixion, F-A-N-X-I-T-O-N, DIY lash extension kit, and it came with the tweezers that you need, a spoolie, and also the bond and sealing gel. So I'm going to do those and then come back closer again. For the lash clusters, you use the bond part first. It's literally labeled, it says bond and seal. The bond part first, it does look like a curved bent mascara wand. At first I'm like, is mine broken? Because should it look like this? But I think it is supposed to look like this. Well, different brands have different ones that look differently. So I'm gonna take my mirror, I'm gonna bring it closer. I look so bald right now. And they give you these angled tweezers right here to use, so you have better precision at putting on the lashes. You literally just pick it up from the tray. This is what it looks like, and then you're gonna go underneath your lash line, and then you want to bring it underneath your lash line and you just stick it up there. So the application is finished. I'm gonna go ahead with the side that said seal, and then I'm gonna just brush this along the lash line. So we're finishing up the look now. So what I am gonna do is just add on some bottom mascara and also some black eyeliner to my waterline. Okay, so the eyes are pretty much done. I'm gonna move you guys back so we can finish out the entire rest of the face. So the face is pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the Patrick Star One Size Until Dawn setting spray. This is the full size one. If you watch my older videos, I had the travel size one in the beginning. So I did upgrade her because that's how much I love her. She's gonna have your face staying on more than just all day. If you really wanted to sleep and wake up in your makeup and go out the next day, I promise you this is the setting spray that would actually work for that. So, and I like my face to look matte. It's my face is matte right now, but because I did highlight, like you kind of see that like subtle glow to like my cheek. But I like my face to look matte, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray this a lot. And it has kind of like an aerosol smell to it. I think that that's like the alcohol in there that must make it last longer. So be wary if you're sensitive to smells if you buy this. I'm using this brown, it's actually a Wet n Wild eyeliner, but just in the shade brown. But I really like it for my lips. Also, I just like that it's such a big pencil. It was longer than this, but I've had it for so long that I've obviously sharpened it down. But it lasts so long. So, and I mean, eyeliner, lip liner, it's safe to use, right? So, if it's safe to use on your eyes, you can definitely use it on your lips. I would not say that I have big lips, but I also do not have small lips, so I don't feel the need to overline my lips. And then I have this MAC lipstick, which I am so terribly upset about because number one, I know it's discontinued, but I can't even tell you what the color is because the bottom is gone. For some reason, I can see that there's a LLY, so maybe it was called like Really Me, but did they even have a shade called Really Me? I don't know why that's like ringing a bell. Like I feel like it's really, that's the shade's name. But that's all that I have left. So when this finishes, I'm going to be heartbroken. This is my favorite lipstick. It's when MAC had like the super matte lipsticks, and it's like a mauve pink color. I really like it, especially with my brown lip liner. And then I'm going in with my Dior lip maximizer, and this is the shade 13. It's also like a borderline the same color as the lipstick, but just in lip gloss form, and I really like that. I use it as a topper. Because although I like my face to look matte, I do want my lips to be glossy and juicy. Alright, so we are definitely pretty much done. I'm gonna draw you guys back in one more time so you can see the completed look. So this is the completed look right here. This is my everyday makeup routine for when I'm just going out on the town, or just like I want to be a little bit more glammed up than just concealer. And this is also the makeup that I would use to film in, which I am going to do right after this video. I'm going to film a couple more videos too, so I can have them in the back. So yeah, I hope that you guys really like this look. I really like it. I feel like it looks really good, but I'm not doing too much. Like, I still look like me, you know what I mean? So rate it down in the comments. Let me know if you really like it. Rate it 1 through 10. If there's anything that I should change, anything that you didn't like. Yeah, I'm open to suggestions, but I really like it. I feel like I look like a boss. Okay guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed my everyday makeup routine. Let me know if you guys really like it, if you're gonna follow the steps as well. Sometimes I actually just like to put on makeup tutorials as background noise, especially when I'm getting ready for the night out myself. So you can do the same with this video too. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Share with someone who needs a little makeup inspo, who maybe not be as great as makeup. Maybe you're a beginner. I feel like this is awesome to follow along to. And I didn't do too many weird techniques where it's hard to follow. This is pretty simple. I feel like it is my everyday makeup routine at that. It didn't take long either. So yeah, I really like it. But if you're not tired of seeing my face, I'll leave a link to another video here on the screen, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye. Love you.